But we missed the point the whole way along. It was a musical thing, and you were supposed to sing or to dance while the music was being played.
Oh,
bro. That's a universal bar.
Welcome back, friends, family, and strangers who are soon to be family, to another episode
of Learn With Us,
where we take content that is worth your time and learn from it.
With them. You.
With you.
Yeah.
And them.
And them.
Today, we're going into a teacher that we haven't yet reacted to. His name is Alan Watts.
He's a big philosophy guy.
You've probably heard of him. He's a combination of a lot of Eastern and Western philosophy, but definitely leaning on the Eastern side of things.
I've heard maybe 7 minutes of him talking ever, and I'm so excited because everyone talks about him. Like, I have a lot of friends who are in philosophy. Everyone talks about him, and they're like, "You gotta listen to Alan Watts."
So let's just dive in.
Oh yeah,
what is this?
Let's dive straight in. This is called "Life Is Not a Journey." Interesting. And it's by After Skool, so we're going to get some nice animations.
Very good.
The existence, the physical universe, is basically playful. There is no necessity for it whatsoever. It isn't going anywhere. That is to say, it doesn't have some destination that it ought to arrive at, but that it is best understood by analogy with music. Because music, as an art form, is essentially playful. We say you play the piano. You don't work the piano. Why? Music differs from, say, travel. When you travel, you are trying to get somewhere. One doesn't make the end of a composition the point of the composition.
Oh, come on. One doesn't make the end of the composition the point of the composition. Like, how good are those words to live by?
And how many people are just waiting for something? Waiting for, tomorrow because tomorrow's going to be more fun. Or waiting to the end of their lives because then you're going to reach heaven.
Your job, like the things you're doing every day.
Yeah.
That you're just always like, what's the end of this task? Rather than, how am I deeply involved with this task?
Yes.
How am I playing and creating while doing this task? I think that was like, that mindset change was the biggest thing that like turned my education around.
Yes, I had a similar like shift in the shift between like trying to get good grades and then moving towards trying to learn, like figure out what learning is at its essence. And then like all my grades went up because I was enjoying learning.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh, I love that.
Me too.
So the best conductors would be those who played fastest. And there would be composers who wrote only finales. People go to a concert just to hear one crashing chord, because that's the end. Same way in dancing. You don't aim at a particular spot in the room. That's where you should arrive. The whole point of the dancing is the dance. Now, but we don't see that as something brought by our education into our everyday conduct. We've got a system of schooling which gives a completely different impression. It's all graded. And what we do is we put the child into the corridor of this grade system with a kind of...
Hey, grim depiction of school right here in this image, but is it inaccurate?
It's not necessarily the school system, it's the way the school system is being done. Like there are teachers and people in the school system who free you from this types of thing. Or like, personally, it seems like we both had that transition, especially in something like university, where you're more getting to decide the classes you're taking, where you're saying like, I am going to take this attitude towards my learning that is different, that is like, I am engaging with this learning for the reason of learning and play. And then you have like in the same class, I'll have people who are super stressed about writing an essay and just like so mad that a deadline is on a certain day. And I'm like, man, if you just looked at it from a different direction, I'm not trying to say I'm right. I don't know, but I know that making that change in myself completely changed the way I interact.
I guess the way that I would look at it is the system, because you're, I feel like, an outlier. Like, that's not how every student thinks. And then those teachers that we're talking about, I think, had to go against the grain. Like, my best teachers, you could chart my teachers throughout my schooling career of who went the least or the most against the grain of what school was trying to get you to do. And the ones at the most are all going to be the best ones that I had. So then that's going against the system. So in that sense, I feel like the whole system needs to be changed to fit those teachers, so that those teachers are just like compelled more. And that more of those teachers come out.
Yeah, that's like the average teacher, or the way that a teacher is trained.
Because there could be teachers out there that are just like teaching this really focused, like, you know, by the books way, that would love to teach a different way, but don't think that they should because they don't want to go against the system, you know?
I'm on, kitty, kitty, kitty. And yeah, you go to kindergarten, you know, and that's a great thing, because when you finish that, you'll get into first grade. And then, come on, first grade leads to second grade, and so on, and then you get out of grade school, and you go to high school, and it's revving up, the thing is coming. Then you're going to go to college, and by Jove, then you get into graduate school, and when you're through with graduate school, you go out to join the world. And then you get into some racket where you're selling insurance, and they've got that quota to make, and you're going to make that. And all the time, the thing is coming. It's coming, it's coming, that great thing, the success you're working for. Then when you wake up one day about 40 years old, you say, my God, I've arrived. I'm there. And you don't feel very different from what you always felt. By expectation. Look at the people who live to retire and put those savings away. And then when they're 65, they don't have any energy left, they're more or less impotent, and they go and rot in an old people's, senior citizens community.
Yo.
That was heat.
This is something I would love to do. I would love to never retire. That's something that I have as a huge goal of mine, and I've been learning that the cultures with the people who live the oldest and the people who find the most joy in life are the people who always have something that they're working on, some sort of thing that never feels like a job to them, but they're always moving, they're always active, you know?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. The idea of living for retirement, it reminds me of Zach Bush, another one of our favorite teachers, talks about the fact that our health system is built on death, and that is the focus. Yeah. And it's like, there are these people in their last weeks who you do everything to keep them alive that then cost the family $500,000, even though it extends the person's life by a week and they can't speak well throughout that time or breathe well.
Quality of life is very low.
And it's like, look at these things we're focused on right now of like getting to these end points, and then having these end points be some sort of like, not even like a celebrated thing, but like you're here.
And it's always just like a letdown. I think I've of course never experienced like the feeling of like approaching retirement, and that's all you can think about. And then you're there and you're like, oh, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. But any times where I'm setting up unnecessary expectations into the future, which I think is one of the biggest things I've been working on. It's a really tough thing that I'm challenged with. And anytime you're setting up those expectations, you're just waiting to be let down, because you're like, and you're also not focusing on here and like making that enjoyable, because you're like, oh, I'm just thinking about this other time where I can be happy, but you won't be happy in that other time if you can't find like happiness right here, you know?
Oh, and how sad it is that we like have so many people, and we're teaching so many people in our systems to just do that. It's like, grit through your degree in college so that you can get a high-paying job. Get a high-paying job so that you can get to retirement and chill.
Dude.
Or that you can have fun weekends. And it's like...
Dude.
Because we've simply cheated ourselves the whole way down the line. We thought of life by analogy with a journey, with a pilgrimage, which had a serious purpose at the end, and the thing was to get to that end, success or whatever it is, or maybe heaven after you're dead. But we missed the point the whole way along. It was a musical thing, and you were supposed to sing or to dance while the music was being played.
Oh, bro.
That's a universal bar. Can we get the graphic from our graphics team, which is just us?
We don't have a graphics team.
We don't have a graphics team.
Come on.
Oh,
we think of life as a pilgrimage. How about it just goes to the whole idea of what was that thing where settlers went west and said that God was telling them...
Manifest Destiny?
Like Manifest Destiny type stuff. You're
Yeah.
like, we have this desire to go there, and on our way, we will make anything happen to get there. And then you kill a bunch of people who actually knew how to live on the land and sustain it. And then you end up with a culture that is creating unsustainable ways of living and leading the whole world that direction.
And we still haven't reached the end yet, apparently.
Yeah. And the destiny continues. But it's like, no, why don't we just make some good places to dance, get good food, good chefs, you know, like learn how to sunbathe properly and
Challenge for you. Dance for 2 minutes tonight.
Oh.
And think about your mood. Don't like record it in a book, but just record in your mind your mood before, mood after.
Yeah. And it has to be unapologetic dancing.
Oh yeah, it can't be like...
Yeah.
We're
you
talking
have to
like...
turn on a bop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And see how you feel. That's been changing my days lately. Yeah.
Yeah, let us know what you guys thought, what you liked, what you maybe disagreed with. Do you think life has an end goal, a specific thing that it's working towards? Or is it all play? Or is it a mix?
Let's start some conversations in the comments.
We love you. Thank you
Yes.
for being here.
And much love.
Much love.
Whoa!